And we are live, folks. Holy cow. It's been a minute. I was on vacation. I'm glad you guys are watching. If you're not watching, remember, I forgot to say, my name's Johnny Yu, by the way. I'm your host. I'm all over the place, as you know, if you have watched any of these. But I am on Spotify and the iTunes podcast thing. If you do listen to the podcast on one of those platforms like Spotify, please feel free to leave a review. One of the stars, you can leave some stars. But I appreciate that. And again, thank you for watching. I was telling my wife earlier about this. I'm not good at this whole me just talking to you guys like this. This is why I bring on people like Rosie and Melissa. They're local girls, mountain bike girls, women, and gosh darn it, they're doing a lot of great things here in South Florida for women mountain bikers. And so let's bring them on. Forget about me. Ladies,
we're a little excited.
We are. We're a little excited, a little nervous.
Holy cow. They're full of energy. What do I do? Thank you so much, ladies, for coming on my little show here. I really appreciate this.
No,
We're excited.
thank you too for having us because this is like freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome that you're local. I rarely get local people.
Really?
You know, here in the Southland of Florida.
Yeah, a lot of times, like South Florida, people are like, "You mountain bike in South Florida?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Let me explain a little bit about it." So, we do have a really big community of for mountain biking here, for being South Florida, and our trails are, I think, pretty cool and amazing. They're all volunteer built, really.
Yeah.
And maintained. So that's pretty cool that we get that, on a flat land.
Yeah, no, that you bring up a great point. Is that I think people are like, oh, you mountain bike in Florida? There's no mountain bikes.
Yeah.
And I go, well, then come with me, hop on a bike.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's try it out. Let's see how long you last.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a lot more technical in the sense of like certain skills that you have to really learn, that it's not so much like, I know Rosie has gone to a lot more places than I have, but going down mountains, sometimes it's a little bit easier because it's just straight down,
right?
As opposed to here, it's like you turn and there's an obstacle and whatever.
Right.
So
I always like to say in South Florida, all speed comes from us, period. Like you have to pedal constantly.
Yeah,
like if you go anywhere else, you can like take your time, get up, and then bomb down.
Every time I've done one of these, I talk about like if you stop pedaling here,
that's it.
You stop.
Yeah.
Well, we got some people here in the comments section. Mark, the segment says you. He's got the podcast tonight. I'm sure people might be going back and forth from podcast to podcast. Who's this Maggie Chicky Southern?
Oh, she's Maggie Chicky.
She's awesome.
Chicky.
Yeah, totally.
Love you, girl. I met her. Well, we met her here in South Florida. She's originally from Kentucky, but rode mountain bike up in Kentucky. And then when she came down here, she met up with us. Before we were even MTB Chicks. It was kind of like before the MTB Chicks, there was another women's group. And we met like that. And then she's moved to North Carolina. But we still keep in touch. So.
Yeah, I used to call them peanut butter jelly because every time I would see them, they were always together, those two.
And really inappropriate.
Jelly town, peanut butter.
Yeah. And it was something like that. It was, we were quite a combo.
Oh,
you knew when we were coming. So, yeah.
Backing up a second, which one of you is Melissa? Which one of you, for the people that are watching?
Oh, I'm
Rosie.
Melissa.
I'm Rosie.
Yes, there you go.
Folks, if you're just joining now, I have a very, very good feeling this is going to be a lot of fun. These girls have so much. Mr. Trail Pimp, hello, sir. He's out there in SoCal. Unless you're going down the Rickenbacker, get some speed there, no pedaling. That's my wife. She will be joining in.
There's definitely no speed here.
Can you take this? How about that Virginia Key, ladies?
They're asking us, how about Virginia Key?
Huh? How about it? You loving it?
Oh yeah, we love Virginia Key. Like, no, we do. Virginia
Okay,
Key's
I
pretty
will.
Awesome.
Yes,
that's where
it
I
is.
think I met you the first time, was at Virginia Key.
Yeah, I mean, and I love Virginia Key. I really like started getting into it and like really building on the community from there. That park.
Yeah.
But then like the hurricane happened.
Yeah.
Hurricane Irma kind of like wiped out all the trees.
Changed it a lot.
It changed a lot, and it's just a little bit more wood features, but it's really technical. I think it has a lot of technical stuff that is fun. It's beautiful. Like the ocean is right there, so it's just really hot. There's no other word for it. It's just hot.
Trail Pimp wants to get there. Simply Fresh.
Simply Fresh. I wonder who that could be.
Oh, we know her.
That is she is our social media maven. That is Christina Frith.
Yes, she is. We love Christina.
She is the bomb.
She keeps us, she's our Gen Z.
Yes.
That keeps us young.
Oh God, this is so much fun. I just feel like I can do like this.
Straight facts, no
and the
printer.
show would still go on, and it would be more entertaining without me.
I think we're pretty fun.
Mars S, your favorite cheerleaders in the house. Woohoo!
Oh, that's Marsha! Yes, Marsha.
Okay,
is
Marsha.
our cheerleader.
Marsha's a total baddie.
Yes.
We love Marsha. She is. So here's the thing that we love about our group is that there's so many women, and they are just like, we're all about cheering each other on and just hyping each other up. I feel like this is us all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
When we're together.
Super encouraging. Like, it is amazing when you see the women get together and how fast women, like, they join us as a beginner, and by the end of the year, they're advanced. I mean, a lot of the times, not all the time.
Then I should join you guys.
Maybe.
Yes. Yeah, a lot of guys are like, "Oh, can we join? You guys look like fun because it's fun, you know."
Yeah.
Trail Dogs is in the house saying, "Hey, there's SoCal people."
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know
hey,
which
everybody.
one this is.
Say hi.
Is it? Okay.
We're super excited.
Jen W.
Jen, another little baddie. That girl, she started with us, and she is racing.
Yeah.
She's doing things like you would not believe. So
can I say she like kicks ass? Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah.
How much?
We're adults.
Oh, we can say bad words?
Yeah, you were adults.
Oh, okay. That's not a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
so now I feel like tonight it's not even me asking questions, it's the comments here.
Oh,
we got Lisbeth. Isn't she a mountain bike chick?
Lisbeth?
Which one?
Lisbeth, right underneath your screen.
Yes, that's my bestie.
That's her.
And she's another baddie.
Yes. And she's also one of our coaches for the MTB Chicks.
Yes.
And she's also one of our ride leads. So Christina are also like our ride leaders when we do group rides and stuff.
Yes.
So
they help us out. So it's nice to get all these women, and they're part like building also the community, that it's not just, many times like you have these groups that it's like, okay, these are the leads and then that's it. Like we want other women to also be their own leaders, and building on that.
Right.
Because that's what, we should be doing.
Look, Trail Pimp says it all. Everybody here that's watching or listening, love these girls already. I got to tell you, your energy is beyond. I should have had a Red Bull to keep up with you if I can get one.
You might have wanted. We should have warned you. Man.
I think you did. I think when you were posting stuff saying it's gonna be crazy.
Oh, it's gonna be fun. Definitely.
I probably should have taken the day off of work then.
Yeah. Well,
tomorrow.
Back it up. When did you girls start getting into this little sport called mountain biking?
Okay, tell your story. Wait, she's first.
Are you asking how do we get into it?
Yeah, like when was it? Was it from birth? Were you mountain or were you BMX girls back in the day? Or?
No, not at all. Actually, I was. It was in 2008 when I got into mountain biking, and it was my boyfriend, who I'm still with. He brought me out to Alita, and I got out there, and I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it either. And I'm kind of a competitive person, so I was like, I gotta figure this out, you know. So we went back again and went again, and I mean, I had bruises from here to my toe, like from the roots at Olita. Oh my god! And then around
the Coral Rock.
Then what?
The
yeah,
Coral Rock and
the roots.
So and then that was it. And then eventually I fell in love with it and ended up joining like groups, like the Band of Bikers was one of the first groups that I was with, like forever. And that's how I kind of met Melissa. So Melissa can tell you her story now.
Okay, so my story is I started, I think it was like 2013, I would say. I was dating somebody at the time, and they're the ones that told me about mountain biking. I had no idea. And so I bought a mountain bike, but I started like going around like just the neighborhood. And then he would tell me, he's like, oh, you know, you go on the trails and the people are going to scream at you and they're going to be mean, like to get out of the way. And I was like, I don't want to go in there. Like, why would you sign me up for that? So like, I literally never went into the trails. Like we would go to the front, like Amelia, and I would look and I'd see all these racers. And I was like, no, I'm not going, like, you know, riders. I was like, they're going to scream at me. And we ended up going one day to Olita with my brother and his wife and my ex, because I'll tell you the story now. So then we go to Olita somewhere. Yeah. And I end up like in a trail by myself. And I was like, oh my God, this is the coolest shit in the world. Like, I love it, you know? And I was just like adrenaline. I love that stuff. And, you know, soon after I broke up with him, I was like, this guy's a loser. Like, if he thinks this. So my brother and I started just riding.
You froze there for a second.
Oh, sorry. Well, I broke up with him. And then nothing. My brother and I got into it. And then I just started riding a lot more. And then I met like some people in the trails. There was a group of women that started back then too. So that kind of like got me more like involved in the community. And then I just would talk to everybody and I just.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I just had buddies that I rode with. You guys are with like Band of Bikers and all these people and hanging out and.
Oh yeah, no, I have been riding since 2008, like I said, and she got on the scene around 2013. You said,
yeah.
I swear she had been riding for like a month, and all of a sudden I'm like, who's this chick? Everyone knows this girl. Why does everybody know this girl? Like I started calling her the mayor because at that point I was like, okay, well this is the mayor of mountain biking.
Because I would be riding and people are like, Melissa, and I was like, hey, I have no idea who they are, but I was like, they knew me, so I was like, hey.
Oh, so I can honestly see, just knowing you guys for now 12 minutes, that you guys are the life of the party at every park here. Like there they are.
Baby.
There they are.
And there's more of us. You should see. Some of these
other
girls are crazy. They're so much fun.
It's just loud, fun.
Yeah.
I mean, like living life to the fullest type thing, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. We got Finland in the house. Fractured
wow. Yay, Finland! They got some nice trails.
MTB, he's saying hi, Melissa. And there's Rosie. It's the adrenaline that got you guys going. So you guys started out both started out at Olita?
Finland. Yeah.
Yeah. I broke my foot there too. My first accident was there at Olita.
I lived in Aventura, so that's the only place I went. I used to go to Amelia back in the day. It was totally different. And I did Markham back in the day when it was totally different. Like I said, it's been 25 years.
Yeah, that's a long time.
But I can't, I mean, nothing against Olita. It's just, I can't drive all the way there anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
it's a far
we
drive.
lovingly call it Brute Lita or Slow Lita. But it has its place. I feel like each of our parts have their own characteristics and their own, the qualities that make them good. And Olita does teach you how to be a good technical rider.
Yes.
Like technical rider.
I was going to say that. I feel like Olita is a place to get on the bike first. And then you move on from that. Like, because it is Rudy and Naughty and
Yeah, it's hard.
It's hard.
Yeah, I feel like Olita is one of those like technical in the sense of like not with so much elevation, but like the roots and the lines and working on the lines. Like I used to love going with my hardtail to Olita. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
But it was because you find the line, like that was the challenge, you know, like looking for the line, the smoothest line and all that.
Yeah, you learn it. I told you I started on a full rigid bike there.
Yeah.
And I told you I got that Rock Shock with 80 millimeters. That was big back then, 80 millimeters.
80 millimeters.
It's just like this. It's just, you know.
And you thought you were getting like, wow, the top of the line.
Oh, it's so cushy.
Yeah, I did this when I started at Olita. I was on a hybrid Cannondale bike. It was just a bike that cost like $500, and and that's what I was learning at Olita on that, and that's where I know all his bruises. And I remember the first day we rented the Olita bikes, the full suspension Olita bikes, which they're not that great either, but they were full suspension. And all of a sudden, I could ride over these routes that I could not do before. We went straight to a bike shop and bought our first stump jumpers that day.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Yeah, no, I got to tell you, I had a Cannondale hybrid. It even had the stem that you could adjust.
Yeah.
And I had put some tread on the tires. I put some tread tires on.
Uh-huh.
And that's when I was just like, my buddy's like, you got to add some suspension. I'm like, what's a suspension? back then. But yeah, it is one of those places. I feel like if you learn on something like that, you progress so much further.
Yeah.
So now, what were you riding on, Melissa?
I was at Olita the first time. A Trek. It was a Trek hardtail, $400. I thought I had spent like I don't even know what. I thought I was like in a luxury like bike. Yeah,
you were like, what am I doing with spending all this money on a bike?
Yes, and I thought that was so expensive. And I'll never forget, I was one day at a park and some guy was like, oh, hold my bike. And I was like, okay. He goes, but take care of it. It's like a $10,000 bike. I was like, what? $10,000? I was like, I would never spend that money on a bike. Like it should fly, I still would not spend $10,000. Well, yes.
Yeah, I would. No, I don't have that kind of money.
Because I was looking at those e-bikes, those light e-bikes, and they're like about $10,000.
Yeah.
Santa Cruz just came out with a new bike.
Really? I'm gonna have to look at that.
I did. Really? I'm already thinking of how can I buy the bike.
Yeah, you're like, I'll drive Uber. I'll do DoorDash.
I don't know.
You can go down that rabbit hole if you want.
No, I don't want to work more.
But
we gotta do a shout out to Rick Mazzilli. He's the
Rick Mazzilli. Here's brother.
The band of bikers.
He's the band of bikers.
Oh, see, I've seen them at Amelia. They had a tent set up.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, I'm a very social person, hence this whole thing. But I saw them and they were all hanging out, and I wanted to be like, well, I'm the mountain bike Q&A guy. And I felt like I was like, okay, I'm going to sound like an idiot. So I just kind of rode past them. But I mean, now that Rick is on the show, I feel like I can pull up on him.
You can approach.
I
like what that fractured rider just said.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm kind of going down that road.
So you guys, when did this little friendship happen? Yeah, how did this happen?
Well, I'll tell you the first time I met Rosie, because
you're killing me.
I was like, what is going on here? So obviously there's not a lot of women mountain bikers out there. Yeah. And so I knew
back then.
Yeah, back then it was like a lot less women out there, right? Like, so if we had like a group ride, like for women, that other group of women, it was called the Hardtail Honeys. If they had a group of like for women, it was like maybe like 10, 15, sometimes 20, like sometimes they would bring, but nobody would come back. You know, it was kind of like one of those things. And some of them stayed, and I have very close friends from that. But like, I knew Rosie, like I've heard of her because she was all like this badass that knew how to ride and blah, blah, blah.
She's so modern.
Right. So the first time I get invited to go ride with the Bobbers and at Olita, so happens, and it was her birthday, and they had set up this whole thing of like, they crowned her like the queen, and they like did this whole procession, and we had to give her flowers. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, who's this girl? Like, she gets that type of treatment? Like, like this girl's like the queen. So I'm here thinking like, wow, she's like,
I was coordinated.
she was like coordinated the thing. And I was like, wow, this girl's special. Like, maybe do I want to be friends with her?
Well, because at first she thought you were the mayor.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
she's the
that's
queen.
her side of the
On
story.
my side story is, I'm like, I just meet this girl, and the next thing I know, like freaking everybody knows who she is, and she's like the freaking, like, she knows people I don't know. She knows that I've been riding like for years before her, and she like knows everyone.
Oh my God.
I don't really know who they are. They just know me. So many times I'll tell them, I'm like, hey, look, we'll meet now. And I'll look at your bike. I'll remember you by your bike. But like every guy, especially guys, they all look the same with like helmet and sunglasses and
Helmet and sunglasses. And,
yeah.
and,
So it's hard to. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't even know. So I just like, hey. That's what I do.
You guys are ridiculous. So it was instant chemistry with you. Well, I can see it
For a
was.
long time we rode, like
Yeah,
we
so-
would ride together.
Yeah, from that point on, we kind of started riding
Right.
together. Like I was advancing a little bit because she was like total badass.
Let me say something here.
You can say something here.
I just want to like her. Like, this girl's a badass. Like, I would ride with, like, because she ended up taking a small break for a little bit there, but before that break, she was a certifiable badass. This girl does everything. John Brown,
On a hardtail.
everything on a hardtail. She was doing everything.
Oh my God.
So, anyways, and then she took a little hiatus, and then
A couple years hiatus.
and then the hardtail honeys had kind of fizzled out, you know. The leader,
The hardtail honeys.
yeah.
And what was the other group? The other female group?
Oh, the band of bikers.
No,
No,
but that was not bad. Bad Bikers was
No, the
cool.
girls. You
The
said-
girls was Hardtail Honeys.
Oh,
Yeah.
hardtail honeys.
Right. And that was the girl group. And then they ended up fizzling out for a few years there. And then Melissa and I were talking, and we both have kind of the same thing with, like, you know, I think also because when we kind of first started, there wasn't a lot of women in mountain biking. And
Yeah,
kudos
sure.
to the Hardtail Honeys for actually getting women on the bikes. Because
Yeah.
a lot of wives or girlfriends were like kind of joining them and getting on the bike. So that was like really awesome. But then that kind of fizzled out, and we kind of felt like, oh, we should do something for the girls, because I feel like they need to find a place where they can get together with them, you know, and talk to each other, what have you. So we ended up starting the MTB Chicks with that kind of thought that they can find other female riders to ride with.
Yeah.
But what ended up happening was we started the group, and immediately they were like, well, when's the group ride? And we're like, oh, okay, I guess we'll do a group ride. And then we did the group ride, and it was like, well, when's the next one? And it was like, oh, okay, I guess we're
We're
doing this
gonna do
now.
another one?
yeah.
This is like a thing we've got to keep up.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, like, no, they wouldn't let us, like, not. We have to, like, where's the group rides?
Yeah.
So then we just kind of started doing that. And
Yeah. And one of our main focus, and I think that was what we were always like on the same page of, is we wanted to get women, like, not just joining mountain biking, but also like empowering them to become like total badasses, right? Like, they don't just have to be like, oh, in the blues or the greens, you know, like, we wanted them to advance and feel like, empower them.
That's right.
Right. And getting them into, like, it's not just a sport. It's like, there's so much more to mountain biking.
Because that was one of
Yeah,
the things.
you don't want to be the girls riding behind the guys and being
Right,
way up.
Yes, we want to be
Yeah,
the girls
let's do it.
passing the guys.
Hello. So that's exactly what she said. A lot of times you see these groups and it's like they focus a lot on the beginners and then they have nowhere to go. We always wanted to keep that like goalpost going and to show that they're badass women and then paying it forward, or paying it backwards or whatever, right? Like give back now that and they do. These girls are amazing, amazing, amazing.
Yeah. So now when did you guys start Mountain Bike Chicks? What year was that?
2018.
Oh, okay. So
I'm sorry.
Yeah. You had been riding long enough. And I'll just let you guys be the goofballs here. I'm going to do the whole, I'll be serious. Now, you guys were like confident enough to start a group. You were like, I know what I'm doing. Let's do this. Let's have clinics. Let's have group rides.
We didn't start the clinics right off the bat. Okay. Like that we just started recently. I got certified as a mountain bike coach in 29 before pandemic. So 2019. So I got certified in 2019. But I felt confident enough to do the group rides. And obviously we have other women that are good too. And like they share, and so everybody we all boost each other up,
Yeah.
And and then also Liz got certified, this year?
Last year.
She got certified. So now we have 2 certified coaches. Melissa is going to be getting certified soon. So, I mean,
yeah.
Hi, chicks. I've learned so much from y'all, and it's always lots of fun. There you go. There's a rave review.
Yes. Ivy.
Ivy,
She's awesome.
She went to our clinics, and she is just dominating. Yes. We love it.
I was expecting fun, but you guys are killing it tonight.
Like they, like a lot of these things and what we see is that these women, especially like our group rides or even in our clinics, right? Like they learn this empowering stuff. And not only do they use that in the trails, but they use that outside in life, that they can, go over these obstacles or these challenges in life, just like obstacles in the trails. And it's a confidence booster. You meet like-minded women that are not into like all the whatever. They're just like, maybe they are, I don't know. But in that community, we're just like about bringing each other up. Yeah. And that's what that's what we want.
My personal favorite thing is when we go to a ride and then the next ride, all of a sudden you see these 2 girls that you're like, oh my God, they realize that they live near each other. Now they're carpooling, or they realize they have these things in common. The next thing you know, they're BFFs and they're going on trips together. I mean, it's just so cool to see like women finding each other, and then they have their own little groups and they go on trips. And
they've got they build the friendships through mountain biking. I mean, you've probably got their friends, but then they've got these like-minded friends that love the sport of mountain biking, and they're like, let's go to wherever. Pisco,
and I will say, like, as you get older, like it's harder, and a lot of people, tell me, or we had all this conversation that as you get older, it's harder to find friends, and friendships and build friendships. And in this community, and especially like with the MTB Chicks, like we're able to get these women together, build friendships. I built friendships that I mean, like I would never have thought. I could be friends with somebody that's in their 20s and somebody that's in their 70s and have these conversations and hang out, that if it wasn't for the sport, I wouldn't be able to do that.
And by the way, that's the age range of our girls.
Yes.
Wow.
Like, we have women in,
younger than 20, some of them, cool. But all the way to in their 70s. And
I got to say, I love that. I see older people, like people you would think wouldn't be riding a bike.
Yes.
And I see him at Virginia Key a lot. There's this couple, and like I said, I'm turning 52. They're way older than me. And you watch them ride and you're like, oh, we can still do this.
Yeah.
We can still do that. One of my best friends is 65 and he rides like 3 times a week. And I'm just like, this is something that, but neither here nor there, me. You're encouraging people, you're empowering people, especially women. 70?
Yep.
And
Yeah.
a total baddie too.
Yeah, and badass.
Yeah, like they do things and you're like, you're like, wow, like it inspires you as a
Yeah,
as a person to be like, you know what,
Yeah.
when I'm in my 70s, like I want to be doing that, and because you meet people that are outside of this community and that they're not as active, and they're like in their 60s and 70s, and they're like, oh, but this hurts and that, and like, oh, life sucks, and I'm like, what? I'm like, you should meet like my friend that's like, I have a friend, and his name is Dave, and he's like, I'm not gonna say his age, but I love him dearly, and he's an older gentleman, but he is like a bullet. Like he just
funny.
does like 100 miles on his mountain bike and all that. So it's like it's crazy. So
you know what? You guys are inspiring me right now because like my friends that I rode with have moved on.
Sorry.
Oh, we'll get to it.
My daughter.
There we go.
Oh,
Pop over.
Yay!
Oh, hold on. There she is. Jasmina,
Yes.
your mom is crazy, but you're lucky to have a crazy mom. Now, hold on, let's get to some of this. Age is just a number. Fractured rider.
That's right.
Finland, folks. Finland. Can we just take a moment for Finland? He's certified mountain bike. What does it take to be one of those? What do you have to do? Do you have to like a written test or riding test? What happens there? I've never even heard of that.
It's a little of both. There's PMBA, PMBIA, Professional Mountain Bike Instructors Association. I believe that's what it is. And then there's BICPA. But you go, it's like a weekend, and you have to, they'll go over instruction. You have to be able to demonstrate that you can instruct and that also you can perform as well. And then you pass or fail and you get your certification. And they have different levels too. So.
Oh, wow. What level are you guys at?
I'm level 1, which is beginner intermediate, and then level 2 would be more advanced, and then I think they have level 3, which would be like you're able to instruct the instructors.
Oh wow, you can just ride down Dirt Merchant and Whistler and
right.
So, yeah. I'm sorry, I got to pause because I know you guys like the comments because you guys are animated as all get out with the comments. Get you some 305. I love that name.
We know who that is.
Wait,
that's Dave.
Oh, it's
David.
Dave.
He's from the Heavy Hitters, another group.
Oh yeah, I follow them. Those dudes. I'll sit in the car when they ride. Those guys catch so much air. It's amazing.
Yeah, they're super good.
Who's
This
ML11?
guy, I love this one.
Yo,
Mountain biker. How did you get that name, and how was it not already taken?
Right?
Oh, Addie's there
Addie!
Addie!
She's another one, super baddie.
Now, are all these which side is it? That side. Are all these people mountain bike chicks?
Not all of them.
I mean,
well, not the guys.
You're talking about the girls that are showing up, the ladies?
The girls that come to say the rides and the clinics, are they the ones that are involved in Mountain Bike Chicks?
Oh, well, no, I mean, actually a few of our clinics, well, at least our first one, we get people that haven't, and then they're coming just to try it out for the first time. We had a woman that hadn't even touched a trail show up to a clinic. Yeah. So
that was cool.
It's neat to see who comes out. So it's Lori.
Could you get her to come to a clinic?
We totally could
get my wife.
Yes.
Oh, she's watching. Never mind. She was like, because she had just posted. What exactly?
She wants to know
break it down for her, because I would love her to get on a bike. Because I have an extra one laying around that I can't sell, and I think it would be fun to do that with her.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
so what's involved in a clinic?
Well, we start off with, what Melissa's specialty. When we get into, we start off with like more of the mindset stuff, and we talk about that a little bit. Go ahead, I'll let you talk.
So we incorporate, well, at least in our clinics, we try to incorporate a little bit of like mindset of like our thoughts and how we, approach certain obstacles. What are we saying about ourselves? when we're, trying something new. So it's a lot of things like just mindset stuff that you can not just use, we want to teach something that you could use in the trails, but also things that you could use outside. Because many times, especially women tend to be a little bit more in the negative, or a lot of more self-doubt, a lot more negative talk. And then if you're approaching something that's difficult and challenging, and also like a male dominant sport, it's intimidating. And so, we really try to work on that whole mindset of, changing our thoughts, changing the words we say about ourselves, what we're capable of doing. Like, for instance, if, like, oh my God, this is so hard, we try to eliminate that, because what's hard for you may not be hard for somebody else. Right. And, you want to look at something like, okay, this is challenging, but I maybe I'll get to do it today, but maybe tomorrow I'll get to do it. So it's more like changing the words we use while we're riding, and just in life, really. So
right.
And then there's the other aspect, the technical stuff. That's
and then what we do in the clinics is we start off in a field, or wherever we have like a space, and we kind of work on just more of the skills, like the basic skills that you would use. And even if you're like, I love taking clinics, and I've been to several clinics before I became a coach, and I've gone and gotten coached from here to Whistler and to Colorado. I have
Nice.
I've taken other clinics, and I've taken privates with coaches and stuff. I really get a lot out of it. And what I've noticed is that, like you say fundamentals and people think, oh, that's beginner stuff. But it's not really, because it is the foundation of every advanced skill that you're going to do afterwards. It's how you move on the bike properly, and how you balance yourself on that bike, and learning bike body separation. And you kind of learn those things. Like, I'm not taking you on the bike and saying like, okay, do that. It's by doing these little maneuvers or learning these little things that kind of gets you to move on the bike a certain way. So you're kind of learning these little foundational skills that then you can we work on that for, let's say, an hour or so in the field. And then we go and we take you into the trails, and we find spots where you can safely progress on what we learned in the field, basically.
I love how you both mix it up with the encouraging. What Melissa was saying, it's not just about biking, it's about the mindset and the thoughts and the feelings that are going into it. Mm-hmm. And then you're doing the skills. It's more than just like ride through the cones.
Right.
Yeah. No.
I think that's amazing, is that you're incorporating more of a psychological, if not just as you use it, empowerment.
Yes.
Right.
To get
That's
them
what we're all about.
We always say, don't
feeling
say
comfortable to ride it.
Play this another day.
Wait, say that again.
That we always say, don't say I can't do this. Like, when you come up to something, be like, don't say I can't do this. Instead, say, I'll slay this another day. That's it. Leave it open. Leave the door open so that you can do this later.
And you don't have to do it.
No, you don't.
Like I told you, I'm older now, and there are things that I go, you know what? I've got good health insurance. I just don't feel like using it. You know what I mean? It's just like, I've done it before in my life. I don't need to do it now. I'm comfortable with my riding. And you're probably encouraging, like, look, riding is just fun. You go at your pace.
Yeah.
Right.
Like ride your ride. And sometimes that's hard, because like I always say, like, there's times I go like by myself in the trails, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna ride my ride.
Right.
But you get in your head like, oh my God, if somebody comes up and they say something, or in the trail, like, like you get in your head. But I'm like, no, like I deserve to be in the trail just as much as the fast guy or the slow person, or like, we're just out here to have a good time, and whatever that looks like, for everybody is different.
We say choose your own adventure.
The only thing I ever say, and we watch it on the YouTubes, we watch it on the Instagrams, people sending it, people doing really crazy stuff. And I'm like, that's good for you. I'm riding for me.
Yeah.
Right.
Like that's what I always say. I got a buddy that when I do ride with him very little time, he tries to, encourage me. And I'm like, I just don't feel like that.
Right.
And you're probably telling women like you ride at your pace.
Yeah.
That's the most important. I think that's what I like about you guys right now, is that you're saying, Don't worry about it.
Yeah, no, choose your own
Have fun.
adventure. We're all here to do our own ride. We're together, but it's your ride.
Yeah.
Who's this Grandpa Extreme?
We don't know, but hey, Grandpa Extreme.
Oh, great. Hey, we got a new one. I've got so many new people, and because of you, thank you so much for having all these new people on here.
Yeah, of course.
Remember,
we have to do a little a plug because Christina, our head of PR and other fun stuff, has just said. Go ahead.
Oh, this Saturday we're having our fundamentals
late.
and
yeah,
I mean, I will say, look, if there's anything we do have fun, we laugh. If you are lacking laughter in your life, just hang out with us for a little bit. I also will say that like we have like weird things like rubber chickens, you know,
we like to have fun.
You gotta laugh. You gotta laugh. It's all about laughing here.
So if you go to our website, you can sign up for our clinic if you want to. It's this Saturday.
Hold on.
Plugging it in there. Because we're like thinking we're gonna get internet famous, but you never know. We may not. A bunch of man girls.
There we go, folks.
Yes!
Look at all those ladies.
Look at all these beautiful women.
Look at that. Amazing.
There, let's spread it up a little bit. So way back, I'm rolling it back big time. How did you come up with the name Mountain Bike Chicks? You guys spend weeks and months coming up with that name, or
no? Actually, I don't know. So how did we start? I don't even know.
Well,
and we have a slogan too, and I know I at least remember the slogan. That's the only thing.
Hardtail Honeys is taken. Damn it.
Yeah.
No, it was just, MTB Chicks. It was like, people were hashtagging it and stuff. And I was like, I wonder if that's taken. And I looked it up and it wasn't. So I took it.
There you go. Isn't that derogatory to call you chicks?
No.
Okay. All right, chicks.
I mean, we don't think so.
She's like, no. Put me in my place.
Look,
I mean, so long as we're within our MTB Chicks groups, it's totally fine.
Yeah.
There's our motto.
And then our motto is, and still I ride. And that was inspired from Maya Angelou's poem of And Still I Rise. And it's just basically that, no matter what life throws at you, injuries, obstacles, challenges, that you still get up and you ride your bike. Like there's no giving up. It's just, and still I ride. So
right.
Wow.
Life throws you good things. Like you get married, you have kids or whatever.
Yes.
Get on that bike. You can still ride.
Look, you got to sign a waiver.
Yes.
You guys are vicious.
Well, we live in Miami, so
it's Miami. You got to save your ass here.
Hello, like you just walk wrong, and they're like suing you.
Hold on. Someone broke all 5 of their limbs.
Damn! Wow.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So, like I said, we have a clinic on Saturday.
Since you broke your 5 limbs, you might want to attend these ladies.
Yeah, like
Although we don't teach jumping.
Okay, I don't know where the rubber chickens came from. Sign me up. Lauren wants my wife.
Yes, and it's like a giant rubber chicken. I should have brought it. It's in my car.
Did I miss something about a rubber chicken?
It's because I have a bunch of like toys and stuff in my classroom. I'm a high school teacher.
Oh, okay.
Which I'm surprised that my students are not on here.
Come on, students.
I'm disappointed.
Right?
They have. Yeah. So anyway, but we have a bunch of toys in our class, and
Grandpa Extreme. That's it's Robert.
Oh. We love Robert.
We do love Robert.
Where's Grandpa? I can't even keep up with you kids now. I'm like, I'm telling you, you guys just run the show.
Okay, so Grandpa Extreme is Robert. He is this Frenchman, and if you meet him, you would think that he's angry, but he's not. And him and I love him. I pick on him, but he really does. I don't know. I love him, and he's
got resting grumpy face.
He
has resting grumpy face.
No, he's just
resting grumpy.
He's just French, and he's like, Melissa, you got to do this. Like he's just like tells you what it is. Like, there's no like soft love. It's like, here it is.
Here it is. This is how I'm giving it to you.
And I love Robert. and I love Marsha even more, his wife.
Marsha.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Marsha.
Somebody wants to know about your stickers.
You can go to the shop.
Here, folks.
The top right there.
So if you go to the
Go to
store,
Mountain Bike Chick MTB
look at
Chicks.
those badass stickers, right? So all of you guys could own that, and so MTV Chicks. And then there's the And Still I Ride, which, you know, can be for anybody, male or female. And you know what, guys? You should be supporting the women to get out there.
Yeah, come on.
You know.
I love this. I was looking at this the other day. I came on your page just to check it out so I don't look like a complete
And those are our
idiot.
ladies. Our ladies are modeling them.
Yes.
Oh, hold on. Who do you want to give them a shot? Are they in the
Yeah. Well, I don't know if they're here, but
Yes.
But either way, that's Claire.
that's
Okay.
Claire, our lovely Claire. She's also an ambassador for Terry's, like the clothing for women.
Yeah.
And then this is Sonia, our
Sonia
loyal, beautiful
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah.
See?
Oh, I love these stickers.
Isn't that
Isn't that
cool?
cool?
Look at that. I love where that's positioned. I'm
Right?
totally getting that.
Yeah, I have it on my frame at the, I don't know what part of that bike is called, but that
Talk
part.
to me about this.
So that's our Instagram, and it is run by our marvelous, fantastic social media queen, Christina. That's Simply Fresh, and she is like amazing with this stuff.
And that's Liz.
And that's, yeah, those are actually those three women that are on that podium all started, like, have been part of our group. And then we've always been kind of pushing for them to do like these races, especially these charity races. So this was a charity race that happened this weekend that passed at our local park, Markham. I was MC. I do the MC stuff for these races. Very entertaining, by the way, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway, but that they joined, they did these races and they're winning. They're doing all these races. They've gone up to state, like the state championship stuff. They do that too.
Now, when you see that, now you're emceeing and you see three girls that you have coached and rode with and stuff take the stand. How's it feel?
Even if they don't take, seeing them out there.
Just seeing them out there,
It's
like,
so cool.
yeah. And you hear me on this mic. I'm like, yes, here they come, cheer them on. You know, because it's like, I mean, that's the best feeling, right? Like having people cheer you on, and just like how amazing it is to get these women that if it wasn't for like mountain biking or like for like pushing them to do these things, like they wouldn't know their capabilities.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't know, I love it.
This is great.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, you look at the chat on the side, you guys have really affected, and again, I'm bringing it back to so serious, that you guys have affected a lot of lives. When you started this, where, like, did you have a goal?
We're always like, oh my God, can you believe this? Look at our group. It's
Oh, no, you're going to make me cry out too. No, but affecting people's lives. When you first started out, like, let's do mountain bike checks, and you got it together, did you realize that it was going to grow to where it is now? Or did you say, oh, let's just mountain bike chicks, do some group rides, get some ladies on a bike?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I thought, like, since I was comparing it kind of to the group before, I was like, oh, we'll just get the typical same old people. Like many times we get the same women that go. I'm hoping that this will get them to be like, yes, I want to join them. Like, because I know a lot of women, they want to join, but they're like, I'm so intimidated, you know, I'm scared. But really, like, I think we're pretty welcoming.
Yeah.
We're fun.
Yeah.
I was going to say, it's not like you're intimidating. I'm sure if anybody pulled up to a mountain bike chicks, they'd be like, oh!
Well, the thing is too, I think that, you know, our group is fairly large now, and you see like all the pictures, you see this huge group of women, and somebody comes and they see this and they're like, man, I want to join, but at the same time, they think they're going to show up, they're not going to know anybody, no one's going to talk to them, they're not going to be able to keep up. There's like all these things that go through their mind.
Yeah.
But when they do take that leap and they go, they leave with friends and numbers, and everybody knows their name, or they forget it, but the next time they remember you anyway. But you know, it's like you leave with friends, and it actually is a really great experience. And I know it because they always come back. Every time somebody shows, they come back. That's how we've grown so much.
Yeah.
And I do want to give a shout out because when we did start our group, somewhere in 2019, we kind of hooked up with Sugar Sand Sweeties, which are kind of like they're over in like the Palm Beach area, and those ladies would drive down to come ride with us at Markham.
Yes.
And so a lot of those ladies also joined us. So that group was started by from Juliana, who is an amazing person who started the Up North ladies.
The Northerners.
Yeah.
I call them the Northerners.
The Northerners.
Yeah. So
look at this. I mean, I'm flipping through your Instagram. I mean, it just there's more I like about it. Nobody's frowning when you see people. Okay, if people are runners on this thing. You never see somebody. Look at all these smiles.
Yeah.
People run. They don't have faces like that. And why wouldn't you? I mean,
that's why we don't run.
yeah, it's me. But it just seems like
riding your bike is a lot more fun.
I was joking the other night about it. It's exercise while sitting. That's why I like it.
You see how badass they are? Look at all that stuff they're doing.
Yeah,
they kick ass out there.
And also like if you're starting, like don't expect like. We don't expect you to do that too, right? Like it's all these things because a lot of people are like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to do that. I don't know how to do that. But we have different groups, right? So like there's some groups that do those things. There's other groups that are just like nice and flowy, you know? So it's just every level is different and it's just fun. Like really, like you want to have a good time. You want to get a nice little kick of dopamine. That's Jen!
That climb. Yeah.
Look at that climb. That climb was her nemesis. So,
again, I tell you what, you guys have got to get me out to Markham.
Yeah.
You guys have got to get me out to Markham. I would love to ride with you guys. I have to be honest with you. I haven't been to Markham in like 20 some years.
What? Oh no, you got it. It's so different now.
Oh my God,
it's way different. But again, I live down here. I have a wife, so I tend to come to places that are
You ride Virginia Key? Is that
Virginia Key and Amelia?
Okay. Oh no, we got to get you to Markham.
And sorry for people who are not from the Southland here in South Florida.
Marsha. That's Marsha, right?
Marsha.
Marsha. I love Marsha.
And I still ride. I want to hang with Marsha. Marsha, if I go up to Markham, we're all
an extreme grandpa.
Yeah, they're like
Seth.
they're none of that what is that called? It's not like they don't coddle. They're not coddlers, which I love non-coddlers. I don't like the it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
No, be like toughen up there.
We're talking about Markham. Now I'm gonna go even further north to Quiet Waters.
Oh yeah.
They just opened up a new, and I'm bringing this up because I've only been there once for a friend, and I only rode part of the park because he got a flat and he got lost. We got lost getting back to the car, and then it got dark. But places that you love, those are the three big ones for you guys.
We Markham is definitely one. Amelia, Virginia Key.
Yeah, I like
Quiet Waters is another one.
We've been going Quiet Waters right now.
They have been doing amazing stuff. Yeah. These volunteers have it was closed for a long time. They had to do something like the county did some whatever.
Yeah.
And these volunteers came in and have totally revamped it. And they just recently opened up the last phase and totally amazing. If on our Instagram, we have some footage. We kind of took some of the girls, an unofficial, just go check it out.
I saw that. It was amazing. It was amazing.
And it was really cool. Amazing stuff that they're doing there. It's, you got to pedal a lot. And it's really hot. There's
I was going to ask you guys, is there a moment where because I always joke, people stop riding when it snows. I actually don't really ride much trails in July and August because it's deathly hot for people that don't live here. Like, do you guys get up early? Are you early morning riders?
No, we're both not.
No.
I'd rather ride at 11 o'clock or 12
Yeah.
o'clock and suffer than have to wake up
Okay.
to ride at 7 o'clock in the morning.
For our
Okay,
group
then you
ride,
and I could ride. Because I'm like a noon guy when it's the hottest part of the day.
that's what I do too. We do it.
Mind you, I will bitch the whole time, like, oh my God, it's so hot. But yeah, I bitch a lot on them.
Oh yeah, and I'll go through like 3 liters. People have. I love these videos I watch. People have like a water bottle on their bike. That's all you have is a bottle of water. I've got like 3 liters on my back, and I go through all of it.
Oh wow.
I'm
Yeah.
all done.
Sometimes I do bottles.
It depends.
Depends what park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, in order to do these clinics, do you guys need some kind of permission from the park, or do you guys just meet up and have the clinics? And
Oh no, we're working with Bike Box in Markham. So through them, with our partnership with them, we're able to do the clinics at Markham and at Quiet Waters. So, and then with Amelia, we Melissa talked to
Tony, like
the
the
trail boss
the
there.
trail,
Antonio.
And then
So yeah,
So
we haven't
we
like
work
we
it
just
out with
started.
them,
We just
you know.
started, our clinic.
Yeah.
So we're working and
Right.
building the community, but Markham has like great features to kind of
to work on.
You guys are really making me want to take the extra drive up.
Well, don't
Do
drive
it.
yet because it's
Yeah.
flooded.
It's all, everything's flooded right now. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Amelia floods if you get just a sprinkle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I went the other day to Amelia and there was no going around the puddles and the ants. There's these ants that are like vicious.
The fire ants.
Devil.
God, I wouldn't be able to keep up.
The ants? Oh my
And
God.
Amelia, you've never been bitten by those ants there?
No, I just stay on my pedals.
No, it doesn't matter. Like a
Oh,
leaf,
they're everywhere.
a leaf brushes up against you, and then you end up with like an ant, and they're tiny. They just bite the shit out of you.
Yeah, it's bad.
No,
I went there like here.
Yeah.
You have to go like
Wow.
covered up, like from top to bottom.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I haven't ridden in a while, over a month, and it's freaking me out. I did a thing with my finger, and so
I hadn't noticed.
you haven't noticed this goofy little thing right here. Yeah, so I'm actually allowed to ride again, but I'm going to do some street riding first just to get my lungs back. But I had amputated my finger.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. But I have got to get with you guys. Who's Ricky?
What is that?
Tortoise, white horns,
Turquoise,
and
white
purple,
horn.
blue.
This probably might be Christina's Ricky. He has an Android. That's all I can say.
Don't worry about him. He's got an Android.
It's an Android.
Who's ML11?
Who's ML11?
Who are you?
11. Who are you?
Aw.
Yeah,
Martin was all shaved up.
hydrate. Definitely hydration before.
We've got to get her.
Well,
on the
she's
bike.
already said that she's gonna do it because we hooked her with what's this called, with the rubber chicken. See, I told you. Ricky says his emojis don't work because he's
So this is
hazmat.
this is Ricky.
Oh, it's hazmat.
Okay,
Oh.
that's when well, apparently it was a goat. That was a turquoise with white horns.
I love this. This is so inside jokey. Now I'm going to pull this up real quick.
Yeah.
Here we go. Hold on. Share that. So you guys have clinics going on. Talk about the clinics that are happening soon. And
You got them right there.
Yeah.
okay.
So we have this Saturday, we have our fundamentals. You can still sign up for it. And then on the 25th, crossing fingers that our weather holds, we're going to have, so we're doing these mini clinics that are just to focus on a specific thing, right? So like climbing or descending, it'll just be all about descending or all about climbing. So we have that coming up.
Yeah, because we noticed that when like the fundamentals is great because you learn a lot of little skills, but like it's a lot. So if you want to, let's say, just focus on certain skills, then a mini clinic is one way to do that. Or it's just like, and with anything, even if you feel like, yes, you know how to already descend and know how to climb, like there's always something else to learn. Like mountain biking, I feel, is one of those things that there's always room for progression, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not like a perfection thing, like, okay, you have it all. No, like there's always something to build. And I think that those skills that are built, then it allows you to ride better, less injuries. I feel like a lot of times the injuries are because like stupid stuff, that they do, and they're not, and it can happen to anyone, but these are just skills like you always want to just continue progressing and working on, right? Like those like good riders are the riders that are constantly practicing and working on their craft, which is basically what these these little mini clinics do. So
Yeah.
I think that's great. What is it doing these clinics? Do you get a sense of where it's going with women? Like, do you have people coming back to these clinics? Do you have like somebody came to one clinic and they're coming to another one? And do you?
Yeah, well, we've already started.
we literally just started doing clinics, but we will say that our first the last clinic that we had already, like two of the girls from that one signed up for the mini clinics.
Yeah.
So for both mini clinics, so they do like, and then with our group rides, that's basically their group rides are like that. They come to one, and then we just start seeing them after that over and over and over again.
Okay, I guess that's where I'm going. Is I was going to pedal back on. Do you see reoccurring like people coming back for the group rides?
Oh, definitely.
Yes, for
every
sure.
time. Like we meet them for the first time, and then it's like we'll see them again. Like they'll come back at that point. It's just getting them the first time there, because I always say the first time is so intimidating. So just the fact that they even do that says so much about them, because they're entering like a group of women that they've never met before on mountain bikes, and you don't know what to expect when you get out there. And they always have, because afterwards we have fun out. We don't just go, okay, we rode our bikes, bye everyone. Everybody brings snacks, we all sit around, we chit chat,
drinks,
yeah, we have a good time.
You're gonna have a nice cold one afterwards. That's the only time I drink it.
Yeah, sometimes prosecco, like we like. It's we're classy ladies there too.
And it's cool because like sometimes like when we have our group rides, the men folk, as I like to say, will get together on their own and do their own thing. Like they kind of gather together and then go off and ride. So like the men have become friends, like the husbands and boyfriends or whatever. The men folk of the women will like get together and have their own little ride, and it's fun. And then afterwards we're all together. We all hang out.
See, honey, we can both do it.
Lori's probably like, what the heck? Why are these people on here? I'm gonna have to ride my bike.
Look, Marcia said her first group ride with us was in June of 2019.
Wow.
And she still comes out almost to every single one.
Yes. And she's raced, and she's just like a cheerleader, and her husband's now racing. So like, just like, honestly, like you just meet, well, at least I can speak for myself. I know I could speak for Rosie. Like you meet like these really incredible human beings that you just wouldn't have met like anywhere else, right? Like I wouldn't have met Marsha and and her husband, or Rosie and her husband. Like there's so many people that I've met and become really close friends with, that I really do feel so grateful for that, because it's I have a huge community of people that I love, So
this my wife always talks about this community, and I got to be honest, I'm a single rider. I ride by myself all the time.
Somebody be his friend.
Well, because like I said, a lot of people that I rode with moved on and whatever, but she loves this freaking community. She doesn't even ride. But since I've joined this mountain bike creator community, it's meeting people like you and everybody who's been on the comments and stuff like that. Yeah. It really says something about mountain bikers.
Yeah.
That there's no real competition with us. We just like doing it, and we like doing it with people.
And with a
You
smile
know,
on our face.
No, and you're like hype you up, like they hype you up. Like I don't know how many times I've gone also like by myself, and like I try something, and even the guys are like, yeah, like all this stuff, and it's just, you would think, I always go back to like that ex of mine that was like, oh, they're gonna scream at you and whatever. But I've like met total opposite. There's some jerks around, but like you just talk to them, or you just tell them a couple things, you get a little Miami on them, and they're okay. But, and you just got to remind them, like, hey, like everybody deserves to be here. Give us a minute. Like, the trail's gonna end shortly. Yeah,
we're just
normally
really
say it that nice, but
it's usually not that nice. Sometimes it's like, hello.
Okay, so Lauren says it best. Lauren, God, I haven't called her Lauren in I don't know how many years. She puts it best. This feels like a mythical universe of goofiness and activity and cool chicks and rubber chickens and now Prosecco.
Yes, we love Prosecco.
I always say, you come, and I promise you, when you leave, you're going to end up with so many friends. You're not going to even know what to do with them all. That's how many friends you end up with in this community. It is crazy. And I'm not just talking to MTB Chicks, but the mountain bike community is just insane.
Yeah, my sister says it best. You just spoke my wife's language. And bringing back to way back, talking about as you get older, it's harder to find friends.
Yes.
We are older. She's a lot younger than I am, way prettier than I am. And it's funny. I feel like these groups can help bring in the friendships that you didn't even know you could make.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you have
I think that's really important. Like, especially even after like COVID and all that, everybody kind of, the solitude that you really look for community, and humans are like, we are genetically programmed to be in groups. Yeah. And then, like the way that we live now, it's very secluded. And then this community allows you to really like just, build on a community and be together, like I'm always like, men, women, like get out there to, because it could save people. Like I always say, many people say that mountain biking saves you. Yeah. So get on your bikes, people.
Speaking of, somebody asked this question way early. What are you guys riding now?
So I have a beautiful Mr. Santa Cruz. He's a tall boy, 21, I think. And I also have a Niner, hardtail. I think it's Air RDO or something like that. Yeah. And then she's got the bikes.
You've got bikes.
Oh, she's got bikes.
I have an Ibis Ripley and I have an Ibis Ripmo.
Oh, you went the cheap route. Look at
I wasn't cheap either. It was
that was
no. You guys got the serious rigs here. Yes. I can't keep up with all your friends here. Listen, look at this. This you guys saved Grandpa Extreme's life.
I want to hear it.
When we started MTBing, we found out real quick that I couldn't teach Marsha about Marsha and anything, but the guys took over and made it this possible for Marsha to enjoy this.
Aww.
Yes, because
he does say that to us a lot. He does like to tell us that.
Yeah. So is Grandpa,
and they've gone on adventures together, and so it's really cool that as partners, right? You get to do these things together. So because loved ones aren't the best teachers sometimes. Right.
No. And you guys, like you're so close that when you're in a partnership, you end up pushing each other's buttons, and you just like and so when you get into like women, we just do think guys are just like, do it, ass back, go.
Just pedal. What part of pedaling aren't you getting? We always got the voice over it.
And women are like, you got this. And then the other thing too that I always like say, when women see another woman do something, right? If you see a guy do it, you're like, yeah, but he's a guy. Yeah. If you see a girl do it, another woman do it, then you're like, if that bitch can do it, it's a whole other story. It's a whole other story.
You girls,
Okay, we
you
don't
girls are
say
pushing us guys.
Okay.
Hold on. I can't believe I just posted this one.
I can break cheese. Jen.
Yeah, no, you got my wife will be there June 17th. Oh my gosh.
That's awesome.
That's all my wife lives for is cheese.
Well, cheese will be in our group rides. We always have fun. We always bring like stuff, and then sometimes if it's someone's birthday and we all want to celebrate after, that's what you saw with the hat and the
Sometimes
tutu.
we like decorate you, you know, like if we know what that you're coming
Crown
or
somebody.
something. Yeah, we'll decorate you for your birthday.
And celebrate you on bikes.
Yes.
Okay, bring it again. Do you guys?
Jen for the win.
I told you. Once you said cheese, you won.
Jen makes the best charcuterie board.
Yeah.
So, as you guys, are there times where you just ride? They're not all group rides.
Yeah, we have.
Okay.
So the group, like people will just post in there. Like today, I'm sure there were several. Like, hey, I'm gonna go do this ride, or I want to. If anybody wants to join me, and then sometimes we'll have like a pop-up ride. Like, oh, hey, like she just said, the Quiet Waters one. They just opened, and it was just
we're like, hey, we're gonna be there.
Whoever
You know,
wants to
wanna
come.
It's not like an official thing, you know. But yeah, and then there's some women, like there's a woman on the Facebook post recently that she's training for, I don't remember what it was, but she was like, oh, if she wants more women to ride with her. So, you know, somebody popped in, it's like, hey, I'll ride with you. So yeah, and a lot of times at these group rides, like people exchange numbers, and they'll just be like, hey, I'm gonna be here, you know, you want to ride together and stuff like that. So yeah, and sometimes like I like to go ride by myself. Sometimes I like the alone time, like a little therapy. Sometimes I like a little group. You know,
it's hard. I will say though, it's hard because I've gone to go ride by myself, and then I see this one out there riding by herself, and then we're all riding together.
Yeah, that happens too.
Damn it! I didn't want to see anybody there.
That's the thing with being like social and like knowing people, because they'll be like, "Oh, you're riding by yourself," and you're like, "Yes." And then you don't want to like tell them like, I don't want to ride with you, and it's not anything personal. It's just like, I'm having a bad, and I'll say it. I'll be like, look, having a bad day, and I just need to ride my bike. If you want to go behind me and ride your bike with me, then that's okay. But I'm not going to talk to you, so don't talk to me.
Steph says it best. Steph was here, ride together alone.
Yeah, yes. I like that. I'm going to use that. We could ride together, but alone.
I think that's a great t-shirt.
I like that.
I like that.
Oh my God, he'll make it. So you guys, you said you were in Miramar.
I'm in Broward, yes.
And I'm in Miami Shores.
You guys mainly ride Markham?
I would say that's probably the one we go to the most.
Yeah, I do. I love Markham. I moved over here so I could be close to Markham.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I work further like south. And I used to live south, like in like Kendall. And then I moved up here. Once my daughter went to college, I moved up here and I was like, I need to be near my community. And so, yeah, I moved up to Broward and I love it because I'm like 20 minutes away from 3 of the parks from like Markham, Amelia, and Olito. So
that's awesome. I love when people say they move to ride.
And that's the next time I want to move out of South Florida to go somewhere else. And I has to have the trails and a community that's active, you know?
Now, you guys, since you've started Mountain Bike Chicks, have you been able to collab, if you will, with other women empowering mountain bike groups outside of the state of Florida? Or do you stay in Florida? Like, because I know I'm wearing Mountain Bike Network here, and
I follow the Women's Mountain Bike Network, and I would love to collab with her for sure. I'm an ambassador for World Ride, and which is basically another organization that is all about empowering women, but worldwide. And so they go to places like Guatemala. Today they actually have their movie coming out on.
Oh wow!
They have a movie that they made about women in Guatemala that they build like these bike libraries, basically like bikes. they teach them, mountain bike skills, and then those women then teach the local women, and then they do like these trips like that. Anybody could go, men or women, and the local women are the ones that take you through those trails. So they have in Nepal, they started in Nepal. They have in Africa, Guatemala. They have in Peru. That's the one I really want to go to. So they're building like in different places. So it's basically just locations that women would not have access to mountain biking. And they're trying to build these communities in these places worldwide. So I'm an ambassador for that. I love their message. But would love to work with Women Mountain Bike Network too. So
Mia, I'll get you in contact.
Up there.
I'm actually going to be seeing her next month for the first time. We're friends through Instagram and texting and all that stuff, but we're meeting in July. So I'll throw it out there. I'll actually throw it out there tonight. But is there a goal for you guys? Is there a place where you want to be with Mountain Bike Chicks, or are you just enjoying it? Like, what's the next step for Mountain Bike Chicks?
I feel like we kind of, it's almost like mountain biking. We're kind of here, we're along for the ride. We're seeing where it takes us, and whatever challenges come our way, we'll deal with them. And
I feel like if we could inspire, like the beauty is like social media, right? Like social media, we could reach a lot more people and inspire, women of different, like the ages, body size. Like that is something, we really definitely want to get these women worldwide, wherever it is. I mean, if we could do that social media way. But other than that, I don't know. We're just kind of winging it.
Right, man. You were like, let's Mountain Bike Chicks. That sounds like a good name. Let's start something. And next thing you know, you've got a website. I mean, that alone shows that you guys are taking some kind of initiative of wanting to do something for the female community of mountain bikers.
Yeah. Well, just like the clinics, they came up from like what women needed, right? And what we saw in our community, what they need. So I guess, our community kind of tells us what would be the next step. Yeah. So that's our next step.
So here's a question. Going back to when you first started in 2008 and 2000 and whatever, riding bike to where you are now.
Yeah.
What have you seen change in the sport for women that like, it's there, Johnny. It's right there. I swear to God, it's on my tongue. So you started way back when in 2008, 2000, whatever, and now you're Mountain Bike Chicks. Have you seen a huge growth for women in this sport? And have you seen a big change in it? Like back in the day, you're probably wearing, gym shorts and stuff like that. Now that they're actually catering to women. Like women have really grown in this sport.
Yeah. I feel like it's grown. Like there's more women out there. But I feel like there's still like there's room for improvement. And I don't know. I don't think it always caters to every type. Like, especially, I know there's a lot of women out there that are fighting for like the different body types. Because the clothes that is out there for women, it only goes to like certain sizes. So then, and usually they're smaller than the usual size. Like an extra large was really like a medium or a large, so I think the clothing industry is slowly getting there. I definitely see more women out there on their bikes.
I see that. I love that, because I admit when I first started, I didn't.
When I started in 2008, I would never see women on the trails at all. Like I never saw when I finally saw women, I was just like, what? Oh my God, a woman! Like, right? I know. Oh my God!
Well, sometimes I feel like that too, because sometimes I'll go ride and literally there'll be no women. I'm like, I'm the only woman out here. It's really scary sometimes. But I'm hoping, like I really do think like social media, the positive of social media is that it just can show people that yes, anybody could really get out there and ride bikes.
Right.
So
Right.
Yeah, it's a bike.
Right.
yeah.
It's so amazing that it's taken so long for this. I feel for this sport to grow for women.
Yeah.
Right.
When it's a bike, women ride bikes all the time. Why you can't go get them dirty? It's
Right.
it was such a guy's club for so long.
Yeah.
And I love seeing women out there when I hear on the left.
Yeah. That's
20 years ago, I didn't hear that voice behind me. And now
and I will say it's funny because that is the best feeling. I'm not gonna lie. When you're like coming up at a guy and you're like, "Hey, on your left," and then like at least here in Miami, some people are like, they'll hear you and they'll be like, "Oh," and then they pedal faster, and then they eventually get tired, and then you finally pass them, and then you're like, "Hi, thank you. Next time, move away faster. Next time."
Yeah, I'm over here by the trees.
But there's some guys that won't move.
No, I got no shame in that. It's ridiculous. Seth, how do you feel the community could be more inclusive?
Yeah.
Great question, Seth.
That is a great question, Seth.
I think that's his name.
I think the biggest thing, at least for me, I would say is just like being welcoming,
Right.
not giving them looks like, oh, what is, because even me as a gordita riding, like I get looks of like, like she's going to do that? Like, oh, she could do that? And I'll be like, yeah, watch me,
Right.
But, and I will say for the most part, everybody in the community that I've met have always been super welcoming to me.
Yeah.
And I think that helped me kind of be a little bit more comfortable. But I guess just that, like welcoming and showing like, hey, like you don't have to look like this to ride a bike.
Right.
Because you don't. Like riding a bike is like the best feeling in the world as you're a kid. Like I feel like I'm a kid again.
Yeah.
Every time I ride a bike.
Like if you look at our logo is basically that. And we did that on purpose. She's anybody. Like she's our logo is
like she doesn't have a certain body type.
Right.
Like
there's
no
just real facial features or anything.
You don't have to be young,
right? You don't know how old she is. You don't know what her body type is. You don't know what anything is. She's a badass. You know that.
Wait a minute. I clicked one of your stories and I'm
on
it.
That's Christina.
So hey, oh my gosh, I'm live again. So this one you're talking about here. This is
that's the logo.
The braid. It doesn't matter. Look. I'm 6'1" on a good day, 235 pounds. I ride bike. Like we ride bikes. It's I'm not, your 175-pound dude. It's a fucking bike. We have fun on it.
Yeah,
you don't have to be. You don't have to be a certain type to ride a bike,
right?
And especially to enjoy it.
I think like just looking at it, because a lot of times people are like, oh, but you need to ride a bike to like lose weight. And yes, it's healthy and you do, eventually lose weight, but you want to find things that are fun, right? Like movement that is enjoyable, not just be like, oh, I got to go to the gym, right? Like nobody likes well, whatever. People do like that, but most people are like, oh, I gotta go to the gym. You're not like, but if you're like, oh, I'm gonna go ride my bike, you're like, yay, I'm gonna go ride my bike.
Yeah.
Like it's just different. It brings fun and joy. Like do those things.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing. I can hear my wife laughing downstairs.
She laughing at me.
She's laughing with you.
Everybody's always laughing with me.
With you. That's me.
Yeah, I say some stupid things sometimes.
No, it's great. You're from Miami. We all say stupid stuff.
I mean, not stupid. Like,
so now, do your significant others ride with you as well?
Yes. Well, my significant other does.
Melissa is single at the moment.
Okay. Well, maybe not after this.
But yeah.
It's complicated.
Okay.
But that's okay. It's okay. Mountain bikers, yes. I will say I've tried to date people that don't mountain bike and it just does not work. They don't get it. They don't understand, like they're just like, what do you mean? Like you're gonna spend 3 hours at a park? Like why? You're gonna go drive to like North Carolina or whatever, Alabama to go ride your bike? And I'm like, yes. and I'm
Yeah.
gonna be on a mountain and I'm gonna have fun.
Yeah.
You know?
That's the thing about mountain biking is, and I always feel like as I go by myself and I have to get back to my wife to do things with her, and it's just like there's that moment after you ride
Yeah.
that you want to pop out that chair and grab a PBR or whatever your favorite beer
Right.
is,
Yes.
or whatever you're drinking, your Prosecco, or there's that moment you
Like
want to
IPAs.
replace some of that in your head
Yes.
and
Yeah.
just enjoy the outside. Hold
Yeah.
on. I think I've lost her.
Yes, Lauren!
You guys may have pulled her over to the dark side.
Yes. This is the fun side. The fun
No.
side.
No.
Come on, Lauren.
I have an extra bike that would fit her. She's a tall glass of water. She's 5'9".
Yeah, she just gotta get used to the bike itself and then hit the freaking trail.
Yeah.
Fractured rider puts it back. It doesn't matter how old, size, gender you are. You always find friends.
For sure.
Yep.
I love it.
I don't have anybody to ride with. I do now. I have 2 people I'm going to ride with now.
Well, yeah, and honestly, you could go I've gone on to trips up in northern Florida, and me and some my friends and I, and then we reach out to the local community and be like, hey, we're coming from South Florida. Can you guys take us around the trails? And they got this whole group together.
Yeah.
They showed us around. I mean, I had the best time ever with that group.
We're up in Alafaya, or
well, it was Alafaya. We did Bomboyet, Carter Road. That trip was a nice trip.
How's Carter Road?
I haven't been in a
I
while.
haven't been in a long time.
Haven't been to what is that, grapefruit?
I haven't been to that
Grapefruit,
either.
I haven't been, but that
Well,
one's
it
a
jumps
lot of
about.
jumping and all that. Hey, look
Yeah.
at my brother!
Ah, Ryan.
We started mountain biking together, and then I
Really?
became popular.
He's the one who got you into it. And now you're the one on the podcast.
No, him and I started together.
Yeah.
And
And
so we started together at the same time, and then him and I, we would share videos. We're like, oh, we're gonna go do this and that and whatever. So we've had many fun adventures together because of it.
But he's still riding.
He still rides, not as often at the trails, but he rides. I know. I'm gonna throw him shade now. He's gonna be mad.
You've got friends in Finland now that you can ride
All
with.
right.
Yes.
To be honest, I don't even know where Finland is on the map. It's somewhere up there.
It's somewhere up there.
Can you point Finland on the map? I can't.
Yes, it's near New England. Not New England, England area, right?
Still hear her laughing.
That one.
Trail Monster.
I'm a world history teacher. I should know where Finland is.
What's that? Who's that?
I'm a world history teacher. I should know where Finland is.
We should end it. We should end
But
this
it
now.
shouldn't. It better be over there where I'm saying.
Ruben!
Help me out, fractured rider. Tell me where Finland is. Was I
Oh,
close?
Funny.
It's near
New
New England.
Switzerland. Isn't it near Switzerland?
Oh,
I
I'm
think it's
Stop
up there.
talking.
I think it's no New England is no.
Not New England. I mean, not New England. Dude, what is that called?
No,
England. London, people.
Yes, I'm just
Oh man, I warned you guys.
Britain, people. It's even there. Sweden, Finland, north of that. North.
North.
Yeah, it was pretty close.
Oh,
That's
and I
what she
say
meant by
that-
that. This.
Oh.
No, that's what I meant. This is north, north of England. Now I'm gonna Google map this sucker.
Oh, I warned you. I go off the rails there. This whole thing went off the rails. It's great.
Yeah,
New
we're
England.
Finland now.
More east.
More east from
Oh,
England.
it is. Yeah, but it was near Switzerland, right? Sweden. The S one.
Okay, so I went to.
Starts with an S. Switzerland, Sweden, same thing.
I was in Iceland and Scotland just this past summer.
Oh, nice.
Regular England wasn't good enough.
I was just in Slovakia and I did some mountain biking over there.
Where are places that you guys have gone, and do you want to take this? Would you guys do a Mountain Bike Chicks group ride in, say, a road trip?
Well, we've
Talked about that.
You guys answer together.
Yeah, we've talked about it. We'll see if that's what our community wants. We thought of going somewhere like North Florida, like a day trip and like getting together with one of the guys from down here. He has a company like the shuttles people. So
Oh, really?
that's Waze Shuttles. Love that guy. And he, we've thought of it, maybe in the works.
Yeah.
Maybe when it cools down, when
Yeah,
it's not
for
so
sure.
hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
look
talking
at
about that earlier. I can't believe you guys still run. It's so hot. And Christina's here.
Waze MTB. That's
the shuttle people.
Oh, okay.
They're
Yeah.
awesome.
And I've already asked this, what's next for you guys? Hold on. Wait a minute. Where'd the shirts go? You guys used to sell shirts, right?
So we just got some jerseys,
Right.
some pre-ordered jerseys from Cognitive MTB. They have been awesome. Christina's actually one of the ambassadors for them. They're a local North Carolina company, and they have some great jerseys. So we just finished the pre-order, and they'll be out soon.
Yeah, so those are not for sale though, because it was a pre-sale, so you had to order them first.
Yeah. But we're gonna get some more merch coming up.
Okay, I'm gonna get stickers.
Yeah.
I'll get stickers. I gotta represent. Donde viven?
Donde viven? In Miami, South Florida.
South Florida.
La Florida.
You think I know, since I live here, what that I know donde means where.
Yes.
Vivian, what is that? Where you live?
Look, Jen answered.
No, right. My brother can't go.
No, you can't go. No, man, leave your sister alone.
Yeah.
Let her she's taking the stage here.
Oh, he knows. He had to learn the hard way because he became like known as, oh, you're Melissa's brother. Before, like we were growing up, he was like the cool kid of the block, and everybody knew me as like Ryan's sister. And now the tables have turned.
The tables have turned.
Yeah, so he'll be like, I don't know where he was. I think he was like in Alafaya, like in North Florida, and some guy was like, "Hey, are you Melissa's brother?" And he's like, "What? Like, what's happening to me here?"
I don't even know if my sister's still on here. I was that way in high school. You're Johnny's sister, and she'd been there 2 years before me.
Poor sister.
So next group ride, this is, hold on, I'm still learning this. I'm not learning it, but I'm trying to learn it. Share the tab.
We don't have a group ride set up yet for July. We're still working out that one.
Yeah.
So this weekend, folks, is fun.
It's the clinic.
Is the fundamentals.
They put the fun in fundamentals, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, we do.
And gosh darn it, I can't go.
No.
Well, because I'm a dude, and you don't want that. It's mountain bike chicks.
Yeah.
Maybe I can come and just watch.
Maybe we need to do like a male only clinic.
You're mountain bike chicks.
I know, but like maybe they want fun because you go to these other clinics and they're not as fun.
Wait a minute. You have 2 clinics on June 25th?
Yeah. It's 2 mini clinics.
So you have the morning and then the afternoon is the other one.
But that sounds like a lot of work.
Well, you don't have to do both.
That's
you
why
one
you're not
or
going.
you do the other.
Right. You got to remember to sign the waiver.
Yes.
Oh, this is great. Has mountain bike exceeded? It's a long day. Has Mountain Bike Chicks exceeded everything you guys have expected so far?
Yeah. I don't think I came in with much expectations initially when we first kind of did it. We just was like, we could have a little place for us ladies to kind of, and then it went.
Yeah.
So
I just wanted like accountability. Like I just wanted a community, and not like what this has turned into was not.
And that's expected. Honestly, that's kudos to the ladies in our community, because they're really the driving force behind all of this,
Yeah,
really,
for sure.
Yeah, so it really has exceeded. Yeah, I mean, what expectations I had, I wasn't that, and we're almost at 1,000 people in our group now.
Yeah,
what?
Yeah. It's
They don't all
crazy.
show up, but
No,
I mean,
we'll get maybe at most around 50. At most, I think we've gotten
Yeah.
about 50 in a group ride. But we always split into smaller groups,
Yeah.
when we do that.
So it's
And
really
they're
cool
nuts.
to see all the women in the trails.
Yeah.
And the guys are awesome because since we've been building, you know, they know us out there and they're just cheering us on. And, you know, if anybody doesn't cheer us on, they hear from Melissa.
Yeah.
So
Now, do you guys have a mountain bike chicks? And I was say, hey, Ace Bike Media, yes. Zombie Finger. Those guys are incredible. If you haven't watched their stuff, you got to go on YouTube and check their stuff out. So you put the phone. Do people recognize you? Do you guys have a tent? And are you welcoming?
We have
welcoming? Like if you have the mountain bike chicks,
we have a canopy. We have cards. If we see women on the trails when we're by ourselves, we hand out our cards and tell them to join us. Like we're super welcoming. I love when we see guys that haven't seen us before because all of a sudden they see this huge group of women and it's like, they're like, is this a mirage? They're like sitting on the sidelines.
Yeah, they're
like
videoing us.
They're like, I gotta show my girlfriend.
it's a little weird.
It's funny.
And do you see us maybe working in a YouTube page, or is this already enough for you? Like you've got the website, you've got the Instagram, you've got clinics and group rides. You're like YouTube another day, maybe.
Yeah, YouTube.
Christina,
our Gen Z girl.
Christina,
she's like gonna disappear on us. Yeah,
that's her cracking up.
She's probably like, no, guys.
No, I mean, we just need to get our videos, I guess, and put them together and throw them up on YouTube every once in a while. But yeah, we're at the moment, no, but we do have our MTB Chicks channel secured. It's there. It's just not being used.
Oh, okay. So you do have like maybe in the future. Because this isn't easy. Christina's a millennial.
It's a job.
Yeah, we have jobs. And this is just.
I'm a millennial. Leave me alone.
Christina's a millennial?
Yes. I thought you were doing that on purpose.
No, here we're thinking that she's a Gen Z.
No, she's an elder millennial.
Oh.
Funny. Oh,
it's really not a millennial.
I swear, I don't know if it's you guys that I hear laughing down there or my wife. But you did sell her, which is incredible.
Awesome.
Because I got to tell you, I took her to Virginia Key once. And you know, when you go through that first trail to get to the trails, you go to the right and there's the green trail.
Right.
And the entire time, I've never heard so many F-bombs dropped. And I don't know why you thought I could do
I feel like that trail is not a green trail.
No.
Like it has some sections, but no.
No,
I can imagine.
And I got to be honest, I haven't even made it back to the Van Halen one. What's that one called?
Oh, Panama.
Because after I climb that hill and ring the bell, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done.
There's
I'm a big dude.
The back part. Yeah. It's the back part called.
Yeah, the back.
Purple Haze and Panama.
Yeah, I've done Purple Haze.
That part is hard.
Before Panama, I haven't done, like, I'm seriously spent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's a lot of trail.
It is.
Oh, so I'm not going to say anything about when we rode together.
Oh.
Yeah, but I could imagine if that was her first trail in there. Yeah. I mean, it's funny because I see people go in like these trails or like black trails and, you know, they're with their friends and you could tell they're new. And I'll stop and be like, hey, like, maybe this is not the trail for you. You know, like your friends are not really your friends because they're not going to pay for your medical bill. But
yeah.
Yeah.
You do you.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that one of the first things you say in the clinic?
No.
You do you?
Oh yeah. We always say choose your own adventure, you know, like we're here. Yeah. You know, choose your own adventure. We're kind of here. We're gonna, you know, you don't have to do anything, you know, just do what you feel comfortable doing, do what you feel like you can do what you feel like you want to try, but you don't need to do anything, you know? Yeah.
And also, do you guys bring this obnoxious energy that you brought tonight to these rides?
Obnoxious? It's obnoxious. It's funny. It's entertaining.
Kidding, you know it. I freaking love it.
It's
Every
entertaining.
time.
I'm just upset I haven't met you guys out on the trails yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
because
Well,
you're
'cause
riding
you're
alone.
And you're Virginia Key a lot. We do. It's harder. Markham's is more middle ground for like the northern girls, and then the southern, like it's more middle ground. So we do Markham a lot. Amelia will get a good crowd there as well. Yeah, and then Markham, believe it or not, is really good for the beginners. So is Amelia, but Markham I think is even better at this point. You haven't been to Markham in a long time.
Markham is great for beginners.
You have not been there.
I would think Amelia is because there's no, even if you fall, you're just kind of falling right there.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
Amelia's not bad. It's good for beginners too, but Markham has like, if you know the trails, they're great.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think I inadvertently pushed my daughter too hard in the beginning. Luckily for me, she has shown interest again recently. Taking it easy. Now, you told me earlier that you've gotten younger.
Yeah, what's
we had
Sophie like 15 at the time,
like she was 15, 16.
Oh, that's
and
so cute.
she would come to our group rides because she wanted to ride, and like her dad knew us, so he was like, hey, take her with you, and so we took her on, and so it's cool. It's really cool.
And she's a little baddie.
And she is like, well, she doesn't ride with us anymore because she's like,
sorry, this way.
I learned what I got to learn.
Yeah, she's now like rides with her dad because they're fast.
Yeah.
Well, she does the races and stuff now, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you're responsible for that?
No.
Well, I don't know about her dad.
Her dad.
Oh, her dad.
Yeah.
But she would join us in a ride, so that was nice.
That is
nice.
She probably thought we're a bunch of crazy ladies.
Yeah, she did. I'm sure.
You guys are getting it going. You are doers. I'd like you and hate you at the same time. No, but what I'm saying is like you're doing. I'm not a doer, and I really.
What?
But you're doing this now.
Oh, I guess I am.
Yeah.
No, I really appreciate what you guys are doing. And I think what you guys are doing is amazing because, again, I don't get why we're on bikes. Why is it a guy thing?
Yeah.
You guys rode bikes as kids. We all had bikes.
Exactly.
Now you're just doing it in the dirt.
Yes.
I mean, hold on. Let me pull this up. Pull this up. Okay, that's sharing. Look, you got 12 tickets left here, but you only got, look, like you guys selling out on these things. Like, how does that make you feel? Like you're like only 5 tickets left, and you guys got.
Well,
am I?
There's times we're like, wow, we got one person. Yay. No, I'm just kidding.
we have 3 people so far. We have it minimal because we don't want it for those mini clinics. We want it small and intimate, so we don't have like a huge.
Yeah, but our first clinic, we're like, okay, if like 3 people, like what's the goal? Like
we'll be fine.
4 people are good, or 3, and then it was like, okay, well, like more people signed up, and then we're like, okay, maybe we'll get it to 6, and then we ended up with like 9, and so that was really cool.
It was a nice group, and it was not too small that you felt like you were the only people there, but also not too large that you felt like you couldn't get special attention. So it was good. Yeah, it was a good number.
What inspires you guys to get on your bike? Why do you get on your bike, and what pushes you to want to do more with it?
I think, well, for me, I mean, she said it earlier, you do feel like you're a kid again. It is when you get out there, you feel you're playing. I mean, when as adults do we get to actually play? Like you're playing out there, plus the community. I personally, for me, I love the challenge. I feel like it has changed me so much. Just those, learning to get over obstacles and not giving up, and like maybe you don't address it right then, but you can eventually. At one point, I did have a knee injury where I ruptured my ACL, and I thought, oh my God, am I ever going to ride again? And and it's, yeah, you will, because you get out
And
there
still I ride.
you face those obstacles again, and you beat them down again, and you get to the point where you can get there again, you know? So for me, that's what it is. And the community we build, of course, they get me out there every time.
Yeah.
So that's for me.
Well, for me, I get
Melissa?
it really has to do with, like, I mean, all the things that she said, like, it's just fun. There's something about going into nature. Like, I feel like I could totally disconnect. I'm an overthinker. Like, I'm constantly thinking. And when I mountain bike, many times I just can, like, silence everything and just focus on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I just get to be Melissa. Like, I don't have to be the teacher, the mom, the this, the that. Like, it just, like, disappears, and I'm here. I'm looking at what I'm capable of, what I, you know, and it's dopamine rushing. Like, there's so many things. It's movement that is good for my body, and it just feels great. I love the community. I'm a social butterfly. I love people.
Really?
Yeah. And I just, you know, it's what drives me. I mean, there's days I don't feel like doing it. I'm like, oh my God, I got to go out there. But, you know, I show up sometimes. Sometimes I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's a great escape, because I always say it's what's in front of you. In mountain biking, if you're not paying attention, you will get hurt or you will fall. So you're really concentrated on that moment right in front of you. How do you think, since in 2008 and 2000, I forget what year you guys started, 2008, whatever.
13.
How do you think it's changed you as a person, other than wearing mountain biking gear during an interview? Jersey.
You want to see what we're wearing under?
I'm wearing my.
We're like, make sure not to stand up, okay? Because we're like wearing shorts and this other whatever. Anyway, I will say for me, it has totally changed. Like, you would think that I'm very talkative and all that stuff. I'm actually was not before. Like,
Wow.
I know I'm very shy. Nobody believes me. Very, like, a lot of more insecurities, you know, a lot more doubts of myself. Now I am a lot outspoken. I feel I get to be the person that I've always wanted to be, but always afraid, right? And like, this environment has allowed me to just be me. And my tribe, you know, like that, like, be yourself and your tribe will follow. And that's exactly what I feel like. Sometimes I feel like I'm too much, you know, but I don't know. Everybody still talks to me after. So
I think Melissa is just enough. No, don't you do that. But like, oh my God, like my wife said, it's 600 people. You guys have.
By the way,
I can't see you not being you right now. And you think mountain biking has done that?
Oh, 100%.
Wow.
100%. And I always say, like, it really did save my life, because I was like in this, like, I don't know, mundane life, like going through the phases. And I was like, there has to be more to this, you know? And, you know, I definitely wanted to incorporate more like movement. And I was like, okay, I love riding bikes. You know, I'm not a gym person, but bikes I like. And so then when I found this, it was just changed me. And then the obstacles and what I was capable of doing, you know, of looking at something and be like, I'm never going to do that, to then finally doing it. Like, it's just amazing. And then you bring that same energy to your life outside. And, you know, I don't know, I just am me now. I get to be myself authentically. So that definitely has helped me do that. So,
yeah.
Rosie?
Yeah. Not that.
I would say, well, going on the same kind of thing, you know, how it, like, for me, it's that same stuff, like what you're saying, like facing those obstacles on the trail and thinking, oh my God, I'm never going to get to that point, you know, when you're first starting out, and then getting to the point where you're beyond that thing that you were looking at thinking you couldn't do. And you don't even realize that it's happening. But I think that then you take that same, like, being able to face challenges and stuff, and you take that with you into life. And, you know, life presents challenges, and you're, you know, like, okay, it's not something, you don't give up. It's just like, you take steps and you can get there. You can overcome stuff, and it's like, without even realizing, mountain biking has taken that, and you get that in life. It happens in life as well. And then for me as well as, with my boyfriend and I, Paul, like when we love going to different states and just experiencing nature in all of these different, it like takes you places. Yeah. So we love traveling and mountain bike. Like, and I just said, we were in Slovakia, we went to Europe, and it was not supposed to be a biking trip. It's not supposed to be a biking trip, but we ended up renting some e-bikes, and we ended up like going through these like mountain villages, and we saw so much on our bikes. We got to see like ruins and castles and stuff.
Wow.
It was so cool. It was so cool.
That's the cool thing. I feel like my bike, and I say it to everybody, is that it has taken me to places that I didn't even know one existed here in Florida, like Alafaya. Like that's in the middle of nowhere. Like who would have known? Like what? Yeah. Lithia, Florida. What is that? Yeah. Like, and it's like, oh my God, I want to live there. Yeah. So all these trails, But it definitely, like Alabama. We went recently to Alabama. We did a race there, an enduro, and that was fun.
That was fun.
But people, like, I would tell my students, I'm like, oh, I'm going to Alabama. They're like, Alabama? I'm like, what are you doing there? I'm like, I'm gonna ride my bike. Like, and then you find these places that you're like, wow, like if it wasn't for my bike, I definitely would not have seen those places. Yeah. So
like we even hooked up with a bike group in Slovakia. We did like an urban, did a couple of urban bike rides and into the mountain bike rides with a group out there, the BB bike scene. Woo!
Shut out. Oh my God. You guys just amazing. I love what you're doing, as I've said a million times. This is incredible. What can people do to get in contact with you or be a part of Mountain Bike Chicks?
So on Instagram and Facebook, just look up at MTB Chicks. That's us.
Yeah.
And then
send us a message.
Yeah.
Yeah. Send a message in Instagram, on Facebook, join, and we're there. We're open.
We're here.
We love
like group rides are just open. Like just come. We're going to meet up at.
Well, so we have different rides. Like some will be like for beginner, intermediate, and advanced. Some rides will be like just advanced. So like we do announce it, but for the most part, we try to really incorporate every level in our rides as much as we can.
And then just keep an eye out, because sometimes we have like a little pop-up ride. Like something will be like, hey, we're just gonna go this weekend, and it's no specific level of anything. If you want to come join us, or yeah, just join the group. On Facebook, we have a lot of activity, and on our Facebook group, the MTB Chicks on Facebook, they'll have, other girls are announcing their rides, and girls hook up to ride with each other there. Yeah. There's a lot of chatter there.
And they can also tag us, at MTB Chicks on Instagram, so that we could repost, their rides and stuff like that. So yeah. Here we
go. Just want to make little dolls out of you. Or of you, and put you up in a glass jar or something next to my bed, and just
Bobby. What is it called?
You guys are
bobbleheads.
Beyond exceeded everything I knew by looking at your Instagrams and stuff like that. You were going to be a lot of fun, but wow,
awesome!
I'm so glad you brought it. And as you can see through the comments, people love you, and I love you for what you do. I'm not going to take up any more of your time. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for taking a chance.
Much fun. We really had a great time.
Taking a chance and winning on that chance, because I met two people that I can't wait to meet in person.
Awesome.
And ride with you. I know.
We got Lauren coming up on our ride. So
right.
Well, I'll be way back. I'll let you girls. Let you girls, and then I'll just go. I'm with the mountain bike chick.
Yeah. That's what they all want to do.
Love you, Ryan.
I love you guys. Thank you so much. My wife said,
yes.
All their stuff is down. All their stuff is down here. Trail Monsters. Seth, everybody's doing the comments.
Gracias, chicas.
Like and subscribe to me.
Yes.
If you haven't, hold on. If you haven't liked this yet, please go and like it. Christina loves you guys.
Yes. And they
Go
can
on
see
their
it
stuff.
after, right?
It's only 5 a.m. for us. It's only 5 a.m. You know, so but go down and follow their stuff, like and subscribe their stuff, follow them.
For sure.
Thank you, girls, so
All right,
much.
thank you.
Bye.
Oh my gosh. Again, now if you can, folks, I know you can't because it's really late. Go get your bikes dirty.
Yeah. Bye.